The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, jet ski operators speak out after U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker warns of their unsafe business practices. We also have a response from Transport Minister Leon Lundy. Is the fallout being felt already? Also tonight, a domestic incident leads to fire. Today, the female involved is in custody. And later, Education Minister, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper says there's a teacher shortage. I wonder what he's going to do during the summer break about that. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. As residents across New Providence continue to endure blackouts and soaring temperatures, new questions are emerging tonight about what's really driving the delays in government's energy reform. Tonight, officials are pointing to a development from months ago that they say continues to impact their timeline for critical upgrades to the power grid. We get this story from Jose Etienne.
Energy Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis says the shooting death of Pike employee Cody Castillo forced a significant reset of the timeline for critical transmission and distribution upgrades, which officials say are key to improving power reliability across New Providence. The admission comes as residents grapple with ongoing blackouts and demand answers about when relief will finally come.
Unfortunately, the incident that occurred with the Pike employee had us delayed by 8 weeks.
Her comments come months after reports emerged that members of Pike Corporation's technical team left the country following Castillo's death, raising questions about whether the project would face further setbacks. The minister says crews have been working to recover lost time, even as they face additional challenges brought on by increased electricity demand during the current heat wave.
Because of that, we are now having to complete our upgrades in a time period that also have extreme heat. So what we're seeing is some of our circuits has to be offline for the work, the upgrades to be completed.
At the same time, officials acknowledge that some of the recent power interruptions have been connected to the upgrade process itself. Colby-Davis explaining that portions of the network have had to be taken offline at times to facilitate improvements, contributing to service disruptions experienced by customers.
Most of the outages are attributed to the upgrades, and one part of it is the fact that we are actually working in a time that was not a part of our project timeline. So our project timeline had us slated to be completed by the end of May.
While officials maintain that progress is being made, they still cannot say when residents will see an end to the reoccurring blackouts that have frustrated communities across the island.
Sometimes we can't tell. When we have planned outages, we provide that detail early on, but then there are instances where you would have a system overload. Now that does not mean that we don't have generation capacity. What that means is the system has too much power coming at one time, and then that causes it to, like you say in your home, the breaker tripped.
This comes as the minister toured the Big Pond substation alongside executives from Bahamas Power and Light and Bahamas Grid Company. She says the facility is now 95% complete and will play a critical role in strengthening the transmission network, reducing outages, and improving service reliability once fully commissioned. For now, however, residents continue to wait for the improvements to translate into fewer interruptions and a more stable power supply.
You would see behind me, this did not exist about a year and a half, 2 years ago. This all is brand new material, brand new built, and it's a part of what we kept stating to the public, the upgrades and the foundational work that will take place to strengthen our reliability.
Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
And so you all know it's quite vexing to have to contend with power outages in this heat. We're going to talk about the extreme heat a little bit later in the show. As we speak, many residents across Eleuthera and certain pockets of Eleuthera are saying that the power is out there. And so it's vexing. Here in New Providence, we have had in pockets as well power outages for hours at a time. As you heard the minister, she explained exactly what's going on. They're playing catch up after that incident happened a few months ago. Well, I'm going to bring the Hot Topics panel in right now just to talk about perhaps your experience and maybe how vexing it is. I'm going to welcome a new member to the Hot Topics panel. Good evening to you, Andrew Blue Johnson. It's good to have you here. How are you? Unmute your device. Okay, Peggy, you can jump in while Blue figures that out. Good evening.
That's when you're rookie to Hot Topics.
That part. That's when you bring. That's okay. That's okay. I know this rookie is good for it. It's good to have you here. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Your thoughts on the power outages, the fact that BPL is still in the middle of this energy reform. Of course, there was the major hiccup with Pike. Now they're playing catch up to try and get back on schedule with this reform.
Well, you know, from a Bahamian perspective, I'm a Bahamian. I'm 54 years of age. And from I was a little boy, all type of governments came in, FNM, PLP, FNM again, PLP. And we have the same talk, the same narrative, the same rhetoric. We need to just be honest with the Bahamian people. I don't think the governments, and I'm not just talking about PLP, I'm talking about FNM as well. They just come with stories. I mean, the honorable minister right there, she come with reasons and excuses as to why is delays. But we've heard this before, and we still would get power outages every year around the summer, throughout the year. So it has to be something else going on that I don't think they think the Bahamians and the Bahamian public is mature to understand. Let's come up and say, listen, guys, this summer is going to be tough. We need to revamp the entire system. It's going to cost a lot of money and possibly a lot of time. But I need all of us as Bahamians to be on board and work with us as a government so we could get it right. In my humble opinion, it appears that the governments just try to put a Band-Aid on the situation. Just be straight up with us and be honest.
Ellington, you heard Blue. Blue says, listen, it appears as though it's just a Band-Aid being put on a situation. Your thoughts, given the fact that all that was put on the table since the last term, and then obviously what's playing out before our eyes even now?
Shanik, I disagree with Blue on that. I know the Bahamas has been plagued with these blackouts and load shedding over the years, and especially during the summertime, we'd have these blackouts and people would be complaining about the hot time. However, as this administration from their last term in office has sought to reform the energy sector, something different is happening. It reminds me of when the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram was doing this major road infrastructure in the country. And anybody, if you have ever renovated your home and done a major renovation in your home, you know the discomfort with the plastics and things cover up, and you got to push all the chairs in the corner because you're doing this and you're doing that. I've observed those pipe workers working. And I've seen like about 6 trucks, and unlike what we're used to in the years before, where you see a bunch of guys standing around, I saw on a site about 6 trucks, and you saw nobody standing nowhere. Everybody had their hands on doing something. I see major stuff where they have up on these big poles and everything is disconnected and they're changing. This is energy transformation. Things got to be shut down. I am prepared to experience from the time the government start talking about transformation and these major things that I can see them doing, I'm sure everybody can see them doing. We're going to have we're going to have power outages daily as long as these people are putting up new stuff, new utilities, new infrastructure on those poles. They have to shut things down. Those are some high-powered, high-energy poles, and they cannot have the power on. So we will feel some discomfort. Now I'm going to have a problem when this is all done and we're still having these outages. As long as this work is going on, just chill. I know we have been having a lot of outages over the past years. I'm prepared to believe that this is not quite that. This is the work that's going on.
Good evening. Thank you once again for having me. You know, this is the disservice that is done by those who would like to create different narrative and speak over what is being said. So I'll read a quote from the minister's speech, budget speech. He said, yes, we are experiencing growing pains, but those challenges comes with the understanding that we are finally confronting long-standing problems and building a system that is affordable, reliable, sustainable, and capable of supporting continued growth and development in the Bahamas. I think Minister Jobert has been quite forthcoming, even today. And she tried to give examples that are relatable. Overload, your breaker tripping. And House Assembly, she gave the example of like Mr. Ferguson said, when you're refurbishing your home, and you stay in the home, but you're doing work, and so you experience some kind of discomfort. And she called it growing pains. And so I believe the minister has been forthcoming. She has been very transparent in our speech, speaking to us in terms that hopefully we would understand. But the noise, the back noise, the distraction, and people, even when Pike was absent, they left, they abandoned the project. This project that has been coming out of the ground, all of these monster poles coming out of the ground, and people, who was doing the work? When Pike returned, nobody acknowledged that Pike returned. They could not connect the dots with the murder and the people leaving because of it. They didn't want to hear it. They just wanted to create a negative narrative for whatever motivation. But Mr. Ferguson, I like that example you gave because I was going to do it so smart people think alike. When Papa them was doing the road, the road them dig up, you remember that? And now we all enjoy the benefit of the growing pains we experienced for the improvement that was being done at the time. And so
I would say this though, see, because when you are chafing because the power is out, that's no joke either. But continue communicating with the people. Don't wait to have to do a tour and for reporters to put a mic. No. That minister is one of the ones who is absolutely easily accessible.
She is.
She speaks whenever you reach out to her. So then if it's daily, and even if people get to the point that they ignore it, daily, weekly, maybe a couple times a week, put stuff out there. And I don't mean in a WhatsApp group. And that's one, that is fine. A WhatsApp group is fine, but I'm saying something that goes out.
On the radio networks, radio and television.
This is what's happening. This is where we are. Right. This is what's happening. Here's an update for you and your BPL. Because it can become quite vexing if people feel as though, man, what the dickens again. Yes, Blue.
Sorry, Blue.
Yes, but see, I want the PLP government, Minister Colby, I want them to get it right, However, we've been hearing this type of talk for decades.
But we've never been reform energy
reform. This is a
reform.
different type of talk. It has been for decades. There's been power outages every summer and load shedding and the rest of it. But this is a bit different. This looks and sounds different because they're reforming the energy sector in many areas where it has lagged and not kept up and kept pace for decades. They're trying to bring all of that up. And so this is what's happening. So now, while it's happening and the work is just chafing while it's happening, we bet right it is, but keep us informed.
But Shanique, it'll be most...
So we don't create stories in our minds. Would you say, Peggy?
It would be most unfortunate if I sit here and not defend the communication of BPL. And you might say on TV, but blow by blow, when there are outages, giving a timeline, making
Yeah, but y'all
apologies
only, but
every day,
listen to me. If
all
y'all
through the
apologize
day.
one more time, what I'm saying is that you're doing your job and that's fine. And so again, you let out there is an outage. You think we ain't know that? We in the middle of it. I don't mean that. That's your work and that's good. I'm saying though, if even when that is happening, because it's necessary, but again, a couple times a week, listen, here's an update from your BPL team. In terms of the work that's happening, people will have they'll be able to sort of swallow that just a little easier if they know that BPL just yesterday told us that they're now doing this.
Sorry, Mr. Perkins. I will encourage all the viewers, all the listeners to join BPL platform media every day. Every day there is some communication about the transformation happening in the energy sector, everything that is happening in and BPL.
Wait, name these platforms for us, please, Peggy. Facebook, where?
LinkedIn, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. We have a WhatsApp channel. Everyday videos of explanation showing staff at work on the ground every day. Every day.
I think what the government should do, okay, is I think they should utilize all of the mainstream media by way of BIS. Create a daily ad or something of that sort that would play, that would, number one, remind Bahamian people of the ongoing work, that will say to the Bahamian people, please be prepared for outages as the people are continue to working and we're doing this, and kind of bring them along as you go along in the various stages.
When people buy into the work that's being done and the transformation that's happening for the first time in decades, they will be a little less vexed. That's all.
So rather than people thinking these outages, I know, like Peggy said that they're doing it on these social networks, on BPL network. I think they should use the mainstream. They have BIS, maximize the use of BIS, make sure daily, if the government got to pay all these stations, make sure there's something being said. Prime Minister Davis talking his last time about using these influencers, put them out there. Let Dasker and them talk about it, tell the people, chill out. You know, let's bring people along as we work. But what I want to say, give me a second before I leave. What I want to say, transformation is not the flick of a switch. What we dealt with before was patchwork. Every time it go out, a generator failed, this, that, and next thing. Those were excuses. We were patching. But now this is transformation, which we're going to pull down. Yes. So when you're pulling down, it's going to be off. Similar to what we're doing with Princess Margaret Hospital. Patching that. Let's build a new one.
Patchwork. We have to move on. Andrew Blue Johnson. We have to move on. Andrew Blue Johnson. I am in charge here.
Debut. What a debut.
You're excited, right? Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Luckily, it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at us. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes your process you add and change them 24/7.
Wendy's and Coca-Cola want to take you and your bestie to New Orleans. July 3rd through 5th is Essence Fest, and you could be traveling VIP style. All you gotta do is upgrade any premium lunch combo 1 through 12 or a salad to a large, like a spicy number 6, add cheese and bacon, or my personal favorite, tendies. Nola! We coming back?
A lot of people know CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store thanks to our beautiful retail stores. But what you may not know is contractors love shopping here as well. Whether you need a flat rack of shingles, a truckload of drywall, or a pallet of joint compound, we can make it happen with unbeatable pricing, fast turnaround times, and excellent communication. That's why contractors love shopping with CBS Bahamas. Learn more at cbsbahamas.com.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At Investar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Jet ski operators are pushing back tonight after U.S. Embassy security alert raised concerns about jet ski safety in the Bahamas. They insist the warning does not tell the full story and argue that many in the industry are committed to safe and responsible operations. Laurencia Smith has this reaction tonight.
The Bahamas' new security advisory warning what is described as serious ongoing safety risk linked to jet ski operations at popular beaches across the country is not sitting well with some operators. They say the claims are puzzling.
Our Bahamian people invest a lot of money in this industry. You have people taking care of families, their grandparents, their grandchildren. You got medical bills, mortgages, all kind of different things. We're looking for someone to boost us in this business.
Pedro Bannister, owner of Pedro's Water Sport, is questioning the source of the allegations raised in the U.S. Embassy security advisory on jet ski operations. The advisory cited reports of incidents including unsafe practices and alleged sexual assault involving some operators, including reports from U.S. citizens, particularly women, between the period of 2024 to 2026. Mainly, the report pointed to 2 women who have been reported sexually assaulted in 2026, which may have prompted the latest advisory. However, records show that there has been no rapes of American women reported this year by police involving jet ski operations, leaving the question, are criminal matters involving jet ski operators going unreported? It's a question that we put to officials but got no response upward to News Time. Meanwhile, Bannister says he cannot comment on those specific cases, but insists that many operators prioritize safety and operate responsibly. He also commends government efforts to strengthen safety measures and regulations within the industry.
That are operated by Defense Force officer. They have a police boat that is about 60 feet long with 4 engines on it that penetrates this area every hour. The government has gone ahead and put Defense Force officers and everyone on this beach. They have a Port Authority man here that has run the rotation system every day. As you can see, 3 Defense Force officers plus a 4-wheeler.
Meanwhile, the advisory raised concern about some operators allegedly running without proper license or insurance. Bannister acknowledged that there are some who try bypass the requirements, but says those individuals should not define the entire industry.
Let them know that I don't want them to mess up our industry because we have family to feed, and when the police catch you, you're on your own like pot bone.
In 2025, government introduced new fines as a part of efforts to strengthen regulations of watercraft operations. Penalties include a $1,500 fine for operating an unregistered motor boat, entering restricted zones, or operating a vessel at a speed considered likely to endanger life. Other violations, including operating a jet ski during hours of darkness or failing to display required registration number or make of a motorboat, carrying a $1,000 fine. Now, just ahead of the cabinet meeting, we made attempts to speak with the Minister of Transport, Leon Lundy. However, that was unsuccessful. However, the ministry did issue a statement maintaining that safety amongst visitors and residents alike is paramount for the ministry. They went on to maintain that they are enhancing more legislation within the sector to provide law enforcement with additional resources to have greater protection over the water sport industry. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, after Laurencia's attempt, Eyewitness News managed to catch up with Minister of Transport Leon Lundy, who responded to the U.S. advisory, making it clear that the safety of visitors and residents remain top priority for he and his team. In fact, there's a meeting tomorrow with U.S. Ambassador Herschel Walker. That is Lundy and his team. Now, Lundy says the multi-agency task force established to safeguard the industry continues to work, and we saw evidence of that in that report. I didn't even know all of that existed on these beaches where jet ski operates. And so I just want to know what happened. In any event, though, let's listen to Minister Lundy first, and then the Hot Topics panel will weigh in.
Force isn't dormant. They actually meet every month. I just read some of the minutes from last month's meeting, and they also met today, actually. So they're not dormant. They're doing their job, and we're making sure that they have the necessary resources to carry out the work. On the ground, I know we had 2 major holidays, and we didn't have any major incidents with the jet skis because they amped up their efforts during that time.
Set with Ambassador Walker tomorrow. He and his team will meet with the U.S. Ambassador. Former Prime Minister Minnis, meanwhile, is also weighing in on the safety concerns raised by the U.S. Embassy. Here's what he had to say.
And our tourists come from the U.S., 50-60% come from the Florida area. You can imagine if we were to lose 80% of revenue stream, the impact that would have. So should we wait until the entire society is affected, or should we wipe out the bad apples and resolve the issue and prevent any future ramification? So I would say the ambassador is absolutely correct. He's thrown the warning out there, and the warning was out there a long time ago. The president had requested that this matter be resolved when I had met with him. The matter has not been resolved. Obviously, if we were to look at it, it must have gotten even worse. The complaints probably has increased. And what they're trying to tell you is, listen, we do not want to move at another stage where the Bahamian people can suffer. Let's stop that now.
Well, former Prime Minister Minnis is making a great deal of sense. You heard the gentleman. This is his bread and butter. They've invested heavily. Blue and Ellington and Peggy, they've invested heavily in this industry, and the industry seems to be absolutely one that is monitored, where there is strict security. Of course, anything can happen when somebody goes out on the water. But I'd like to know what prompted the U.S. embassies, perhaps you should have said, listen, just in the last few weeks, my office received this many complaints about these matters. Your thoughts, gentlemen, and where the Bahamas? Yes, we know that in that jet ski operation, but obviously it's tightened. The gentleman gave evidence in that story, but we know it is something that needs to be strictly monitored. We don't want that to be destroyed. It's a part of the feature. People love the feature, but again, these men say, "Man, hold up, man! You don't destroy our industry," because most of them are law-abiding citizens. They said.
Well, the U.S. ambassador, he has to do what he has to do for his people. Now, his words can have a strong effect, and the action from the U.S. government can have a strong effect negatively on our tourism industry. But let me say that this as well. In all of these areas, like jet ski operator, jitney drivers, there needs to be some type of uniformity. I see these fellas, everyone just wearing their own clothes, nothing to show that they are licensed or proper. Maybe we should put some uniform on them. When I say uniform, all jet ski operators that are licensed should wear this particular long sleeve shirt. those beach shirts, all on the beaches, so everyone could know who they are. Sorry?
What did you say, Ellington?
Long sleeve
Sorry,
shirts?
so
I think
who
he's
they are,
talking
thought
about, I
someone
think
saying
there's
something.
some boating sort of
boating.
material that they wear out on the water.
Yeah, but some type of logo on it to say that you are authorized, an authorized jet ski operator. Just like the bus drivers, although all of it is connected, we have rules in place, but I think in this entire country, in all agencies, it's enforcement of these rules. I think the problem is enforcement. And if we could get it out there, just for example, the seatbelt rules. When it first came out, everyone was hollering and screaming and shouting, but now, nothing. Everyone just wear their seatbelts and what have you. We as human beings, we don't like change, but if the authorities would really keep their feet down and push everyone to the limit, say, listen, these are the rules, you're gonna abide by these rules, or we will write you fines, or we will suspend your licenses, whatever that is. But if you just go with rhetoric, with talk, and no action behind that talk, you will get the fellas to comply for about a month or so, but they know that, hey, let's only talk, we're gonna go right back to where we was before. But if you stand firm and with the government, see what I realize, and I believe governments just all the time just want to be nice, don't want to lose any voters, don't want to potentially upset any potential supporters who may be in the jet ski business, who may be in the bus driving business. No, man, if you really love the country and love the industry and love the people, you don't worry about these type of things. If you're doing right, do right.
Let's move the country forward, is what you're saying. Ellington?
Shanique, I'm in the tourism industry, and this hits home with me because we have similar scenarios that plays out around the airports or between the various taxi, livery, and bus drivers. And so this is very sensitive to me. When I listen to both former Prime Minister Minnis and Mr. Herschel Walker, there seems to be some discussion that has been had, and the things is not being executed. That is what I'm hearing from them. I think we need to get beyond whatever measures need to be put in place. It needs to be put in place. We cannot be partial with this because I've been following this. There's been complaints from a particular gentleman for some years now that is in the jet ski business and that has been complaining on deaf ear to some issues where some persons who in authority was being partial in how they execute their authority, allowing some nefarious people to operate within the jet ski. I've been following that, and he's been complaining for years. I want to say to those jet ski, you operators, you have a responsibility. I know we got these things, I know snitch boy. Well, then you can let them kill it for me, you, and everybody else. If you see people that you know are not properly registered, you need to report it. We need to protect this. You have a responsibility to protect it, whether the defense force officer or the other port people doesn't see it. You have a responsibility to bring it to the awareness of the authority. We must protect this tourism egg for all of us.
I agree with Mr. Blue where it comes to enforcement of our laws. And if Defense Force Marines are in place, I think probably I would recommend a sting operation. Show up, ask for license, ask for insurance coverage, spend a day watching, because I see videos of tourists, Bahamians on these jet skis just having a wild crazy time. And so two are responsible, but enforce the law. If you know of a bad apple, remove it. Remove it. And nobody's responsible for you keeping your job, keeping your livelihood. That is your responsibility. So you are to protect the service you are making a living from. And so I say enforcement of the law, sting operation, recognizing, identifying these individuals. And if you have to remove them, remove them.
And Shanique, let me
and
say
also to add to that too, I'm in the security business. I have over the years dealt with many people who I work for me. And when they would go on certain locations, If they've been too long, they're too long. Sometimes they get familiar or comfortable with the employees and customers, so they try to look at to make sure they don't steal. So move the fellas out on a constant basis. Just don't keep one or two defense force officers there for a year or two, because they're gonna know the fellas. They're gonna get this. It's a small nation. We're gonna get familiar with the fellas, friendly with the fellas, and then we turn a blind eye to certain things because that's my boy. No, man, move them out. Put a new set of fellas every 6 months, rotate them, just let new fellas get to know the people they're not as friendly with them, and they will do the job, because in this nation, when we get too friendly with people, sometimes that could be a problem.
Yeah, we tend to lose our discretion. Anyways, listen, a tragic day on a construction site, a very unfortunate story. The fallout leaving one family facing some harsh realities and a mother's worst nightmare realized. Here's Linton Ritchie Jr.
What was supposed to be the start of a new opportunity ended in tragedy for 26-year-old Redneil Joseph, who fell to his death while carrying out construction work at the site of a local warehouse project. Authorities say the young construction worker was on top of the unfinished ceiling when his life was unexpectedly cut short.
A male was walking along a roof beam of a structure that is being constructed, under construction, and he fell and sustained fatal injury.
Family and co-workers of Joseph looked on as investigators examined his body and probed the surrounding construction site, his mother weeping as she struggled to cope with the outcome. Through a translator, Susie Sinclair Joseph revealed that her son had taken the job in hopes of helping his family through a difficult period as they are currently facing eviction from their home. She said he was determined to work hard and viewed the new opportunity as a chance to provide stability for his loved ones and secure a roof over their heads.
The moment he was actually working to put his rent money together to pay the landlord, he owed the landlord, and he been saying from the 9th, he haven't been paid as yet, but once he get paid, he'll be paying the landlord.
Amid her grief, Sinclair Joseph claims eyewitness accounts suggest her son was not provided with adequate safety equipment while on the job, a lapse she believes cost him his life.
If he had something secure around his waist, he wouldn't have fallen.
Now, this rip in the ceiling above me is the exact spot where Joseph plummeted to his death. The bottom concrete surface was covered in sand by body removal services. Now, Eyewitness News questioning authorities on if they have any idea if he was outfitted with the proper safety gear.
That, Linton, we are presently investigating. Our detectives are presently doing their questioning of various individuals, so that information I do not have at this time.
Authorities are once again stressing the importance of workplace safety, urging construction workers and employers alike to ensure proper precautions are taken before any job begins. The appeal comes as Joseph's death marked the second fatal on-the-job accident in just over a week. On Wednesday, a man was killed after falling while cutting a tree in the Anglersing community, highlighting the potentially deadly consequences of workplace hazards. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
It's just so unfortunate, you all. I mean, we can quickly just jump into that. And what really is in the Bahamas is so many times, whether it be government employee or private sector, we like shortcuts. Our thoughts and prayers are to that family. It is heart-wrenching to see that mother, to hear the story, and to see that he just wanted to be able to work to contribute to his family. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. I thank you all for being here. Blue, thank you, of course, for being here. I have to go to a break. Beyond the Headlines is backward after this.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay eatin' well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
A familiar face in Miami Gardens politics is making a move towards state government. Former Miami Gardens Councilwoman Shannon Lady Igodoro has entered the race for Florida Senate District 34. What makes her story significant to us here in the Bahamas is that she is Bahamian, born and bred. Now, I remember a few years ago where I spoke with her as she was seeking the councilwoman of Miami Gardens position, and she was successful in that. And now she is going towards a Senate position in the state of Florida for District 34. Good evening to you, former Councilwoman Igodoro. It's great to have you here. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening, Shanique and my Beyond the Headlines family. How are you guys doing?
We are so happy to welcome you to the Beyond the Headlines family. Certainly, we want to see this victory happen. We are doing great, and we are excited to talk to you. You are doing amazing things. You went from councilwoman, city of Miami, making excellent impression there and major headway in local government, and now you are going on a state level. Let's just start by asking, what motivated you to pursue the Senate position for District 34?
Great question, Shanique. I'm always motivated with the ability of service. I truly believe that service is a calling. It's something that each and every one of us, if afforded the opportunity, can do. So service for me is not just passion, but it's a calling. It's something I truly believe that I was born to do. So when the opportunity came up, I said, why not? and I jumped in.
Yes, yeah. Now, how do you feel your experience as a city councilwoman? And I'll tell you, her husband also is involved in local government in the city sort of Miami Gardens and the surrounding areas, doing amazing things in Florida. But how you think you've been prepared for this now sort of state level representation from the local government aspect to more statewide? When you served as a councilwoman?
That's a great distinction. Shanique, it's very important that the viewers know the difference between a local government or municipal election versus a state election. So the race that I am in is for State Senate, Florida Senate, District 34. And that district is multiple cities. So we have within that district not just Miami Gardens, but we have Bal Harbor, we have Opa-locka, we have North Miami, we have North Miami Beach, we have parts of unincorporated Dade County as well. Versus at a local or municipal level, we have just the city of Miami Gardens, a city where I started out as a student and a city that is quite familiar to many Bahamians throughout the diaspora.
Yes, now speaking of the diaspora, as a daughter of the Caribbean, a daughter of the Bahamas, let's talk about these ties and how this will bring and further enrich your representation on the Senate level.
What is interesting, I think about this time in my life, Shanique, my experience on the Miami Gardens has really taught me at a fundamental level how to deal with real voices, right? What it means to knock on doors, what it means to be available for that senior who may need groceries, what it means to be available for that teacher who may be looking for supplies. So it afforded me the opportunity to be at the level of the community. And what Tallahassee now does is to make sure that all of those tax dollars that funnel, that go from our communities, that those dollars come back into the communities that we serve in. So it's simply service, but on a much bigger level. It's really expansion, if I could put it into context.
It absolutely is. I mean, it's really so amazing. We are extremely proud of you. As you know, we just came out of an election season ourselves. And here
Yes.
you are in the state of Florida doing such amazing things. We know South Florida is home to a large Bahamian population. And what message do you want to? I saw some of them already saying, listen, I'm going to go and help her campaign. I'm going to go and help her get elected. What message do you want to send to that population, to other members of the Caribbean who also make up South Florida?
Hail, hail, the Bahamian people. We are a part of a larger diaspora, obviously, but I would not be elected in 2020 if it was not for the support of the Bahamian diaspora. A few months ago, I did an interview, and it was with the great Thelma Gibson. You would know her, a stalwart in the healthcare field. Unfortunately, she passed on about 2 weeks prior to that interview. But I was blessed to be a voice for the Bahamians standing, and I went on and I did that interview. I want Bahamians in the diaspora to know that you have a voice. You have someone who is experienced, you have someone who is educated, you have someone who knows what it takes to be elected, and who is willing to serve. I'm a woman of faith, I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I can literally be any woman, any leader, anyone who wants to give back to the community. So this is my contribution to the diaspora.
And then talk about this Caribbean representation at the state government level. Like, how would that look? How do you plan on having that sort of like play out for the people in Tallahassee?
Can you even imagine how amazing that representation would be? Representation is not just important in a physical sense, but it's also important in a cultural sense. During my time on the Miami Gardens Council, many Bahamians throughout the state of Florida and even throughout the islands of the Bahamas would have known that I was a champion for culture, that I hosted many Bahamian cultural events, that I made sure that the voice of the Bahamas was represented. Now, this is not just about being a voice for the diaspora. This is a voice for all. But the reality is, I am a Bahamian American, and I have to, at a bare minimum, be a voice for the diaspora. So that representation, as it did in the city of Miami Gardens, would certainly continue all the way to the state level, Tallahassee.
Now
and I'm excited.
Yeah, we are absolutely going to track your progress. We're going to get updates from you and speak with you and celebrate with you as we did before. So I'd like to ask you this, and of course we will have quite a number of follow-up interviews moving forward. By the way, when are elections?
Elections is August 18th, so it's a very short turnaround. This was not planned, but Dr. Robert Ingram, my mentor, said you must always be ready. So I'm ready. So there's not a lot of time. So we need to really send the clarion call out.
You sound ready. You sound ready. You look ready. You have been prepared, certainly, and we are here excited for you. And so as we wrap up this evening, what should voters of District 34 look forward in a Shannon Iguodoro's representation? Why should they trust you with their vote?
There are many issues plaguing District 34. I mentioned the cities already. There are issues with homelessness. There are issues with economic strife where people, particularly small business owners, feel like they're not being represented. So people really want a voice. There are seniors who can use some help. We know that seniors are the ones whose backs we stand on. I could not be who I am if there were not those who had gone on before me. Education is another real concern. People want to make sure that when they send their children to school, that their children not only have a nice hot meal, but they are learning. People want to know that the money that is going to Tallahassee, in short, that money comes back to where it rightfully belongs. I would be that voice. I would be a voice for the people. I would represent the diaspora, and I'm ready to go.
Be that advocate, huh?
Yes,
indeed. And you mentioned some of those issues, and they're quite similar to what's here in the Bahamas. It's, kids needing hot meals to go to school and learn and all the rest of it. And so we are so much alike. And that is why I imagine you will do exceptionally well in this new role. Of course, we're going to track your progress straight up to August 18th. Thank you very much, former Councilwoman, the City of Miami Gardens, Shannon Iguodoro. Thank you very much again, going for that Senate position, District 34 in the state of Florida. And we are here behind you, sending that 242 energy to you, Shannon Iguodoro. And so thank you very much for joining me this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Listen, panel, real quickly, you all heard her. Your thoughts on just how amazing this is.
It is amazing to see a Bahamian in American politics soaring, and that she have the support of Bahamians in America. Imagine that.
I think it's wonderful, Shanique. I met her a few years ago, been in contact with her. She's a wonderful lady. She's poised, she's focused, and she's going to do well.
And she still speaks Bahamian.
Yeah, no, she does. She absolutely does. Of course, thanks once again, and Shannon Iguodoro. You all follow her. If you're in the state of Florida watching, which we have many viewers, get behind her and push her there to Tallahassee to be your voice. And of course, I thank you very much, Andrew Blue Johnson, Peggy, Candace Ellington, Ferguson. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. And a huge thank you to all of you for tuning in this evening. It's been awesome having you hang out. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.